Hello, this is a new puzzle I've come up with. I'm calling the 4x4 Cutaway cube. As you can see, it's basically, a 4x4 Rubik's cube, but it has cutaway view in the center pieces and in the edge pieces to show you pieces that are actually inside a 4x4 but are normally hidden. So this 4x4 here is going to have these same pieces in here, but you just can't see them. So that's the idea of the cube. Obviously, it makes it a little trickier because normally in a 4x4, right, what you would need to do is you need to match up edges like this edge and this edge. You need to, match them up together and then put them in the right place to solve it. But for this puzzle to be solved, you would also need to match these up with this internal edge right there. So, this should make this a slightly more challenging 4x4 puzzle. However, the main reason I made this is because I thought it was super interesting because it demonstrates and visually shows you how a 4x4 actually works. Because a 4x4 and a 2x2 are essentially based on the normal classic 3x3 Rubik's Cube. In the case of a 2x2, what you do is you take these corner pieces and you make them bigger to cover up the other parts so that you're only dealing with just these corners. And a 4x4 is kind of similar, except you take these center pieces and you cut them in half and give them a way to slide independently. Now, an issue that happens in both cases is that you essentially have some hidden parts. The simplest example is these center pieces. There's no center here, right? And there's no centerpiece here. That produces a challenge around alignment. So imagine I made a 2x2 out of this, and so all you could see were these corner pieces and they were bigger. When I turn this 90 degrees or 180 degrees, internally what could happen is that this center part, like when I turn this 90 degrees, it might only turn like that much just due to friction because it's just hiding inside there. And that would be a problem because now outside it would still look like this is a 2x2, but when you went to make another turn, it would be locked up. And so you have to come up with some solution so that when you turn this, the centers stay aligned with the puzzle so that then you can make further turn. And you can see this happening actually in a 2x2. Like if you look at these screws here, when I turn one side, those screws will definitely not turn. And when I turn this side, the screws go with it. And that's true for any orientation. So the 2x2 has some kind of mechanism inside that makes sure that the core stays aligned with the puzzle either by moving with or by not moving with the side you choose. The 4x4 has the same thing. So if you look here at that screw there, when I turn the puzzle here, you see how it doesn't move and it does move here. In fact, even if I just do this slice here, you can see that when I'm turning this slice here, that screw is not moving. But when I turn this slice, the screw goes with it. So there's a solution necessary. And my 4x4 Cutaway cube shows you how that works. So this is the way it works in a lot of 4x4s, is that in the center here, they have a little piece that does not rotate. So when I turn this top, you'll see that piece in the center here is not spinning. And so these pieces that look like the centers are actually, rotating around something that's fixed. And then you can see that there's this little bump on this piece, or on this piece, or on this piece. And what those bumps pop up and do is they block these pieces sometimes. So you can see now that if I turn like this blocks and holds the whole core while these pieces can all slide around the outside. But when I turn this one, the core is going to go with it. And so the way that these little notches are designed is they're aligned to match. So you can see, for example, if I'm looking at this way, they're all on the left. If I turn the puzzle and look at a different one, they're all on the same side as well. And they're all on the same side as well, which means that one side is always free to slide around the core and one side is always blocked and takes the core with it, no matter what you do. And it also means, of course, that you can do a turn, and then do another turn, and everything stays. And everything stays aligned. So that's actually, what I thought was the most interesting thing about a 4x4 is that sort of interesting trick of how they work, and I like that this puzzle shows that to you. Meanwhile, it also shows that there are actually hidden sort of 3x3 edges inside the puzzle as well, which is kind of interesting. So this is the 4x4 cutaway cube. I like the idea of the puzzle. I must say my implementation here is just okay. You can probably hear and see that the alignment on the puzzle isn't amazing. It's a little catchy and a little squishy. You kind of have to use some care when operating the puzzle. But overall, I'm still quite happy with it. So this is the 4x4 cutaway cube. Thank you for watching.